Hi there, it's Sandra with Brew City Thrifts, and today I am at the Mukwonago Goodwill. I haven't been here for a couple weeks, and so I'm really excited to see what I might find. Now, today is a Monday, and I'm usually, it's been my go-to Friday place, so I'm not sure how we're going to do, but let's find out. Let's hit it. Okay, the first thing I notice is this Floryville snowman figurine with a bird on its head. I do think these are really cute, and I do happen to collect them myself. This one, though, seems to be it seems to have a missing piece on its head, like something else was up there, and I think because it's broken, I decide to leave it behind. I then noticed this box that looks like it's vintage. It might be a little bit old. And on the inside, there was this plastic candle. I really wasn't that, I just wasn't that excited about it. So I put it back. And then I noticed this ceramic piece that seemed to have a little bit of age. And it's a little pink teacup, very ornate, but perhaps not as old as it is designed to look to be. Again, I decide to leave it. Among the vases, I am seeing a lot of more contemporary, inexpensive pieces. I'm scanning for something that stands out as being different, unique, and or very old. And so the first thing that really catches my eye is this planter, this piece of pottery. It's got a pretty plain kind of look. It's got these horizontal striations around the outside. It's kind of chunky and home style. There's a couple little dings there on the outside. I actually really like it. I like pottery like that, but I decide to leave it. I have another planter that I picked up recently that is old, and I think I just want to move that one before I get another similar one. This piece of art glass and the vase next to it caught my eye next. And then finally on the lower shelf, I noticed this piece of terracotta. It's got a lid on it. It's a vase with a lid on it. It's by Crate and Barrel, and it's plain. Crate and Barrel is a good brand to look for typically, but this was so plain, I decide I will leave it. I noticed this piece. I thought it had a sort of a mid-century look to it with that pattern. It was kind of chalkware, but definitely contemporary. I took a moment to look at this vase. It was missing some petals on the flowers. It seemed to be a match for this shallow bowl up here. Again, nice artistry around the flowers, but chipped. So moving on, I am scanning the shelves. Thought that might be an older piece, but then I saw this below and I recognized this immediately. This is Fitz Floyd, and I don't know what that flower is, but I do love the colors on it. It's a really beautiful piece and not chipped, shockingly, which these are often chipped, so I was thrilled to put that in my cart. I noticed this little dish here, this little trinket or jewelry dish with the cute three-dimensional mouse in the middle. Unfortunately, you can see it is a bit chipped on the rim, so I had to put it back. And then I noticed this matching set of ceramic cups and a pitcher that are enameled, and they are redware from Japan. A nice set, but I am not inspired to take them this time. I do leave those. I do notice this. This is almost like stoneware. It's really heavy, It has two compartments in it. I'm not sure what it is. It does seem to have some age, but again, I decide to leave it. In the cooking and bakeware aisle, I noticed this dripware platter with a sort of a tree design, and I like the abstract design there. I assumed this was Hull, and when I turned it over, I don't recognize that pottery mark. In my experience, Hull is typically marked as Hull. When I looked this up on eBay, this platter does seem to be, there's a McCoy version and a Hull version, and I'm not sure which this is, but I do decide to leave it behind. I was passing through this aisle quickly, just glancing at the textiles, but I did notice this pillow because it had eat, sleep, and fish on it. I thought of it for my son because he does love to fish. And unfortunately, it was just a little bit too faded and worn, so it did not come with me. In this area where there's all the bathroom items, I noticed this soap dish, which was very pretty and happened to be Crabtree and Evelyn, which is a brand that I really love of soap. And I thought this would probably be a great pickup. But as I was examining it, I did notice a chip, and I thought, oh, well, I was not going to take it because of that chip. But it is a very pretty little dish. Sorry, you have to stay behind. I notice on this shelf a ceramic shoe, very ornately designed. It's got hand painted Lily of the Valleys, and I am super fond of Lily of the Valleys. I think it's super fun. It's a tea light holder. It's called Diane's Happy Toes. And while I think it's whimsical and, you know, just pretty, they don't sell for a ton of money, so I do decide to leave that behind. I also then noticed this box. It is a wooden box with a game inside of it. I kind of like the look of it. It's a Melissa and Doug game. And I used to like to buy Melissa and Doug items for my kids when they were young because I like things made out of wood. And they do a lot of wooden games and wooden puzzles and wooden children's toys. So it looked like it was all intact. And I thought I'm going to maybe give that a chance. I don't sell a lot of kids' games, but that one was one I thought I might go ahead and take a chance on. Then continuing to look through some of the items on the shelf, I noticed this, and I am so excited when I pull it out. It is a handmade wooden plaque in the shape of a dog, obviously a cute puppy, and I love this. This is very similar to a cat that I bought a couple weeks ago, a cat plaque. It is just sweet and well made, and I just love that someone put the time and effort to put that together. So that is coming home with me. I'm excited to have found it. Right into my cart it goes. I am scanning the shelves. There's a lot of boxes here, a lot of planters, just kind of a mishmash of things. And I noticed back here, this is a ceramic container. I noticed this little sweet little plaque for a refrigerator or the wall. And then I noticed this. It is an enameled plaque to hang, and the colors are what really were drawing me in here. I just really love the design with all those bright primary colors. It's just very, very cute, and so that went into my cart. Continuing to dig around a little bit, here's another that was a sun catcher. And then I noticed this item. This is by Demdaco, which is an it's something that I was told to keep my eyes out for by another reseller, and the last Demdaco item I got did sell pretty fast. This one is boxed, and hasn't even been opened, so that went in my cart. And then I noticed that cute little box. Again, you know I love boxes. This is a wooden one. It's a little bit beat up, so I decided to leave that one on the shelf. Continuing to shift things around, and then I noticed this. This is again something boxed. It is a Jim Beam bottle. Now, typically, I know these do not sell for very much. Those decorative bottles by Jim Beam, unfortunately, because a lot of them are super cool. They just made so many, and people kept them, and they are just not very valuable. But I thought because this one is boxed, maybe I would give it a go. But when I checked on eBay, it really is about at retail, so I left it. I really am working hard to pick up more figurines, and I pick up this swan because it's made out of stone, and I liked the carving. It was a little bit simple, so I left it behind. Then I noticed this bluebird. It was nicely painted. I think it was Gabble, but it was also had a big chip on the tail, so I decided I'd leave that. Behind it was an angel, and on the next shelf down, this ceramic spoon rest caught my eye. It is hand painted. I do like spoon rests. This one was not quite not really fine quality, and so I decided to leave it. And then I noticed this. I love it's one of these pieces of Asian art that they kind of look like bonsai trees. This is made out of stone and metal, and it's quite heavy. It is missing a couple of those stones, but I think I can do a repair pretty easily on this with my own rock collection. So I think it's really beautiful, and I put that in my cart. Still among the tchotchkes, I'm scanning for something to catch my eye. There's a lot of figurines here. Most of them seem more contemporary. I do notice this trinket box. It is very ornate, sort of a French, I don't know if I would say Renaissance, but definitely like an 18th century French style in my thinking. But its quality isn't that high, so I continue on. Again, lots of figurines here. Most of them seem more contemporary. I noticed this frosted glass paperweight with the hearts. Nothing too special. And then I noticed this wooden duck. I know some of those wooden duck decoys are worth a lot of money. I have no idea what is and what is not. Then I noticed this. At first I'm like, what is this? I turn it over, and clearly it is the skull of a steer. Something one would expect to find in the Southwest for Southwestern decor. Obviously maybe a cowboy belt buckle. It was enameled, and I just really thought it was kind of weird enough that I was really intrigued. I mean, if you wore that on your belt, you'd have to be really careful. Like, don't bump into things. I mean, those horns are so sharp, but I thought it was pretty interesting, and I thought, I'm going to take it. I forgot to do an outro, and I am at a stoplight. Had a lot of fun. I think I'm super happy about that wooden wall plaque in the shape of a dog. I have one as at home that you might have seen me pick up that's a cat. And how fun is that? I also love the Fitz Floyd dish and that enameled belt buckle. So score, thrift on siblings, we will do this again.